In 1998, the historic Good Friday Agreement ended the 30-year sectarian war in Northern Ireland, known as the Troubles. Although great strides have been made, the poor working-class neighbourhoods of Belfast remain fiercely divided. Giant walls known as peace lines keep Catholics and Protestants separated. And while they keep the people safe, they also prevent true peace.
Most of the world are taking walls down, and here in Belfast we're building them and extending them, which is still 14 years after the conflict is over. We're still doing that, so it's quite concerning.
The peace walls have been there from before I was even born, and I'm 37 years of age. Really, they were there in the early start of the Troubles. They started off just as barricades or barbed wire, and they were put in place by the security forces to try and keep peace in the areas and separate both communities from being able to have access to each other and create violence on each other. And I think there is probably upwards of maybe 30 peace walls across Belfast.
It's not like the Berlin Wall, where people wanted to tear it down and it was being stopped by government. Here, people want the walls.
Particularly in loyalist Protestant communities where they feel if the walls were taken down, they would be overrun by the other side, as they would describe it.
What you have here is what's called recreational rioting. Because there's such a culture of it, that even when there's no political reason for it, kids just riot because there's nothing else to do. So that would be how they get in their summer months, is go down on the interface, throw stones, throw petrol bombs and have a bit of crack, as can be said.
If people are divided and living apart, then there's all sorts of stereotypes and misunderstandings about the other side and how they're different and how they get blamed for things. And because of that division, then there's always that reason to fight the other side.
And it's sad to think that many of these young people now who are involved in that sort of behavior really have grown up in relative peaceful times, but still from their families or their communities have some sense of the conflict and therefore some misunderstanding about the other.
We will never ever get along with Protestants at all, like never ever get along with them.
A lot of the younger kids, when you actually confront them and talk about, well, why do you hate someone from the other community? Many of them have never met anyone from it, so they've no real experience, but they don't like them because they're the other side. And in terms of any political ideology, many of them aren't interested in politics. So it's just a case of they're different, or I just do this because my mates do it, or it's fun.
I know why my family's top Republicans, like. I know why, it's just keeps going on and on and on. Catholics and Protestants will never get on, like. It's the way I've been brought up. Don't like them. Don't like them at all.
Although we've moved so far from the past violent times here, but we can't take this peace process for granted. There is still a lot of work to be done. As long as you have 40-foot high walls dividing us from our neighbors on the other side, as far as I'm concerned, that's not a normal situation.
We are in a far better place now than what we were 15 years ago. But our fear is that probably in terms of the world or global issues, Northern Ireland's probably seen to be done and dusted. But there is a lot of things that need to be addressed here, and by papering over cracks and saying everything's sorted, that I think is a big mistake.
People need to be concerned. People need to understand that if they don't continue to support us, that we could easily slip back. We're still at a very fragile stage. We have a long journey ahead of us.